guys, welcome back to this week's fireside session. Welcome to this week's fireside session. My name is Leanne Smith and I am going to be hosting this week. So our topic for this week is health and fitness as a lifestyle and career, and our guest for this week is none other than, of course, Miss Patrice J. White. She couldn't join us last week due to circumstances beyond her control, but we rescheduled and we're back this week. So just going to go ahead and add her to the live. Super excited about this. Thank you all so much. Hi!
Hi guys.
Hi, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm so excited about this. I tell you, I was so excited. I got up and I worked out this morning.
How many burpees did you do?
I didn't do any burpees.
You don't start workout yet. That sounds like you need to just lick out some for your fans. Come on, the followers them say lick out some.
I didn't. You know, you're right, and I appreciate the push. I appreciate it. We'll talk after this. Don't worry.
Alright, no problem.
Wowee, thank you so much. Welcome once again. I have a lot of questions and I'm really excited. Me I compare questions from last week. Me excited by it. So just to start it right off, tip of the iceberg, how did you get started as a trainer? How did you get started in fitness? Where did this start for you?
From my own personal journey. At my heaviest, I was 210 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
A typical nyama and a lazy person. So my journey started, how should I put it? Can't say it was baby weight I was trying to lose now, because my daughter is now 16, so so she's not baby no more.
No.
So up to 2015 she would not have been a baby. Mm-hmm. But in 2015, that serious white clicked in terms of, hey, you're gonna do this fitness journey and you're gonna do it the correct way, and the weight is gonna come off this time. Mm-hmm. You're no longer gonna do the fad diets or the very popular one that persons were doing back then. I don't know if they're doing it now. Was the injection where you inject yourself and you follow a strict 500 calorie per day, and the weight comes off. But the minute you start eating back, or which is that you normally eat, then the weight comes back on twofold. So like now in the industry now, it's the tea business. Like everybody's doing tea to lose weight. So yeah, I've been there with my struggles, etc. So when I stopped looking at the scale, and when I started educating myself in terms of food, how to eat and stuff like that, etc. With that clicked then. That's when my own personal journey started, a journey that turned into a passion that then turned into my own career.
Okay, awesome. At what point did you realize that this was I heard you say, oh boy, Jesus, I heard you say you were going to do it right this time.
Yeah.
So you tried before.
No, because before I was just doing bare diets. And it's something that I discuss with my clients right now. When you live your life based off diets, you'll never fall in love with the lifestyle, because you'll never get used to the idea of getting up religiously every day and putting in that work. When motivation goes through the door, discipline is what's going to keep you going. Like persons will ask me now, Pat, how do you stay motivated? How do you stay motivated to get up every morning and go out and run? And then, do everything it is that I do as an entrepreneur, and then still
morning.
Yeah. Yeah. But running for me is something that I love doing. Mm-hmm. It's not easy, but I love it. But when you let us say, like, I'll use this morning for an example. You get up, you get up in the morning, you don't feel like running because your body's sore. I've just started my 41 birthday challenge, which started on Monday, where I'm hitting out 410 different workout activities for the week. That's for each week for almost 5.5 weeks. So today is Thursday. I'm sore out hell. I had to ask a client to scratch my back for me yesterday because my arms couldn't go up to scratch my back. So when you get up, yeah, you know, you want to look good at home team, and you know, we have to maintain the youth now. Can't make nobody know I'm ever 16-year-old, I'm a 41, you know, so I'm say. So you have to put in the work. So when you get up and you're sore and everywhere in your body hurts, motivation is going to go through the door. What's going to keep you going? It has to be discipline. And you will never get discipline from dieting because all you're looking for is a quick fix, a temporary fix. You will never fall in love with the lifestyle by dieting.
Right.
Yeah.
At what point did you realize that fitness was your passion? This is what you wanted to do? Because I imagine you had some day job before. At what point did you realize, you know, fitness is what I want to do, and I want to?
It started with social media. I'm going to be very honest. So while going through my own personal journey, I was tracking my journey on Instagram. You know, at them time the Instagram just started popping and stuff like that. And persons will, you know, reach out to me, you know, DM me, you know, how do you do it? You know, you're losing weight, you know, left, right, and center. How do you stay motivated? The number one question that everybody keep asking, how do you stay motivated? And then I started doing the things that typical females don't want to do, which is, I have an ego problem where it comes to men. I must do things that men can't do. You understand me? So I must be able to out-train a man. So, you know, people thought I was actually entering a bodybuilding competition in 2015 because of how it is that I was training. I was not doing the typical training that a female would do because, you know, what most females are afraid of. We're not going to lift too heavy because, you know, we're going to bulk up.
Yeah.
Which realistically, females can't bulk up like that because we don't have the hormones that men have. You get where I'm coming from?
Okay.
So from my competitive side of me in terms of I want to be able to out-train a typical man, I then started falling in love with what this lifestyle was. I love the results that I was getting from the lifestyle in terms of how my body looked. I also started become confident in myself. I always have a tummy issue. From I had my daughter where you know as a mother you get the stretch marks, you know, the mommies can identify with me. You have the stretch mark, you have the sad skin, you know, that loose skin baby pouch from giving birth. And you know, I've been to the doctors who all told me that the only way I'd be able to lose that pouch is if I do a tummy tuck. You know, I've been in the gym situation where trainers themselves also said that to me, that the only way I'll be able to lose that is by doing plastic surgery. And at the time, I wasn't willing to go that far. I did liposuction on my tummy when my daughter was 2 years of age, because at that time I had a 10-month looking tummy, and my daughter was 2 years of age. And what I learned with liposuction when I did it then was the 10-month tummy moved from 10 to 6 months, but the tummy was still there. And then I keep eating how I was eating. So the 6-month tummy went right back up to 10-month tummy. You get where I'm coming from? So my thinking is, if I was supposed to get pregnant again, then I would defeat the purpose of doing a tummy tuck to get rid of that sag that I wanted to get rid of, because then I'd be starting over the whole process all over again. What happened in 2015 when I started eating the correct way, training the correct way? You know what happened? The sag and that pouch that the doctors told me that I'd never be able to get rid of. That sag and that pouch where whenever I was taking pictures, I had to be, you know, pulling your sides together and because, you know, you want the pictures them look. You know, things, you know, we female do. We want the pictures to look
flat, but I know
exactly a particular way, etc. Now I was when I started doing the lifestyle right, I remember doing a post in December 2015 where I spoke to it in terms of being, you know, as a mother, you know, our body changes and stuff like that, etc. You know, the stretch mark and the pouch and, you know, all these things. And doctors told me that the only way I'd be able to rectify that issue is by doing a tummy tuck. And here I was with a post of me in a 2-piece swimsuit, you know, first time in my life since I've been baby, I see abs all over the place, left, right, and center. You get where I'm coming from? How can you not love that journey?
Yeah.
How can you not want that journey to be a part of your lifestyle for the rest of your life? You get where I'm coming from? And, you know, from high school days, I'm a businesswoman. From high school days, I'm a hustler. You understand me? I say, so, you know, the entrepreneur side of you is going to kick in. You get where I'm coming from?
Yes.
So when persons are, you know, when persons are messaging me, asking me how it is that I do it, etc. Ching ching, turn my passion, my newfound passion into a career. And I just never look back.
That's right, that's right, that's right. So for Dynamic Lifestyle Studio as a brand, what sets Dynamic Lifestyle Studio apart from the rest of like a Fit Farm or a Sprite Training, or what sets you apart?
I don't want to compare. I never compare myself to another training institution. I mean, competition is good. Healthy competition is good because you learn and it drives you. But I don't compare. My only competition, as I tell everybody, is myself. And your only competition, as I always tell my clients, should be yourself. But what I think set my program apart from every other program is I practice what I preach. I live the lifestyle. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't have an off season. You know, like, so let's use bodybuilders as an example. I have utmost respect for bodybuilders because they have a different level of discipline to get their body prepared for competition. You get where I'm coming from? But realistically, those bodybuilders can also say to you that they can never live like that for the rest of their life. So the minute they're out of competition zone, if you find the typical bodybuilder that they were never in love with the lifestyle, it's just about competition for them, you'd realize 3-4 months later when they're on their off season, you see a fluffy bodybuilder, you're like, what the hell? What the hell happened? You get
what happened? Where's the rest of you?
Exactly. Where for me and for my program is I live the lifestyle. I'm a lifestyle brand. And this is why I'm sponsored by various corporate companies. I'm not just about the lifestyle because it's summer or it's spring or it's, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I have no off season. And then I will do the typical things with my clients that other trainers probably don't want to do. You understand what I'm saying? Because this is something that I actually love. I love running. I love doing cross-training activities. You get where I'm coming from? How many trainers do you know are going to get up out of their bed at 2 a.m. in the morning to run with a client or even to run for their own personal purpose? They're not going to do that. As a matter of fact, a lot of them say to me that I'm crazy. At 2 a.m. they're sleeping. You understand me? But I'm sure now when COVID has now hit at 2 a.m., they would have been wishing that they were doing something different that nobody else would have was doing at that time.
Right. So you physically manifest whatever it is that you're trying
I am always my authentic self. You realize what I said to you when we just started? I'm a nyama. Yeah. Why do I run so much? Me nyam. Love food, you know. I can out eat this country into poverty. You get where I'm coming from? But I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of putting in the work to look the way that I'm supposed to look. And if you're a lifestyle brand, you cannot have an off season. You must always be the authentic representation of the brand itself that you say you represent.
All right. So I've heard you mention being a brand and, you know, being a lifestyle and being authentic. What would you say are 5 of the key things, that 5 of the core parts of brand Patrice or brand, you know, Dynamic Lifestyle Studio?
All right. The 5 core things, I would say number 1 is consistency. 2 is authentic. What you see is what you get. I don't know if you were the person who had actually called me for this interview. Exactly. And what did I say to you? I am, you know what I'm saying? I keep it real. What you see is what you get. What's the 3rd thing? Let me think. Wow. I don't know. I just know that I have to. For me, my core value, trust. So it's something that I tell my clients over and over again. You have to trust me you have to be able to trust me with your journey.
Okay.
You get where I'm coming from? Because that's the only way you're going to listen to me as a client, and that's the only way you're going to get the results it is that you want. Now, if I'm not consistent, nor am I authentic, all my clients are going to be able to trust me.
Real.
You get where I'm coming from?
Real.
So they
and
try,
that's something as personal, so to speak, as their body. They're wearing this every day.
Exactly,
It's not an outfit that you
exactly.
can put on your wear. You know?
Exactly. Like
It's
I get approached from a lot of brands to represent their brand. And you know, I will say to them, the first thing I say to them is, if I'm not aware of their brand, I say, send me some literature of your brand.
yes.
Now if I start reading that literature and I'm going through, if it doesn't tie into what my brand is about, I'll say to them that I can't do it. It doesn't matter how much money it is that they're throwing at me. I'm going to go
It doesn't
against the very
reflect
core
you.
principle of what I practice for my brand, which is authenticity, and which is discipline in terms of living that healthy lifestyle. Like again, I will use the tea people. Every day the tea people them approach me, and every day I say to them, you know, I don't care how much dollars and figures they're showing me in terms of selling the tea. You get where I'm coming from? It's not what my brand is about. My brand is about being authentic, and that's one of the main reasons. Even if I have a customer and the customer leaves, the customer ends up coming back because of the authenticity of what my brand is about. And that's the main reason why corporate companies are also attracted to my brand, because of number one, the consistency, number one, my authenticity, and two and three, because they know that they can trust whatever it is that I put out. Whatever it is that I say to my followers, I have almost 60,000 followers on just Instagram alone. If I say to them that buy this particular shake, because this shake is a shake that is good for you. This is a shake that is not just about example weight loss. It's not about a quick fix. It's overall a healthy shake. I want to be able to know that my fans, my followers, they're trusting what it is that I'm saying to them, that they can put in their body. I'm not saying it to them because of monetary gain.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Thank you very much. How do you establish and defend yourself in such a male-dominated industry? You know, because lots of people might think that, oh, you know, it's our no,
Well,
oh, it's our man. And you are recognized to the point where when I told my friends and my family members, oh, you know, I'm doing live with Patrice J. White, and they were like, Patrice? You mean Patrice? And I was like, yes, her. So, you know, you're well known and you're established, but this is a male industry. So how do you?
I so hate that. I so hate that term. All right. It didn't come overnight. I'm going to be honest with you. I've been on my own personal weight loss transformation journey from 2015.
Mm-hmm.
I started the Dynamic Lifestyle brand in 2016 from my home outside my garage. You get where I'm coming from? What people are seeing now, especially when they use a term like, oh my God, the celebrity trainer, etc. It never happened overnight. You get where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm.
It's 5 to 4 years of consistent, you realize the word I keep repeating, of consistently putting in the work to get my brand where my brand is right now. The thing about social media is that people think that it happens overnight.
Yeah.
You get where I'm coming from? I have up and coming fitness persons in the industry, and all they're interested in is how quick they can become popular. You can't be interested in how quick you can become popular. You must first be interested in loving the career that you're in. You get where I'm coming from? And the popularity and the funds will come after.
Definitely.
When I started in this industry, you know, I've been going to corporate companies, asking them to partner with me, and I wasn't even asking them to partner with Dynamic Lifestyle. I was asking them to partner with me, Brand Patrice, because I love running. I love doing two things. My two main hobbies are running and traveling all over the world. You get where I'm coming from? And I'll never forget in 2016, those same companies, they never saw my vision. You get where I'm coming from? Oh, worse as a female. You get where I'm coming from? It wasn't something that they were buying into. So I continued doing what it is that I love doing, which is running, doing the cross training activities, doing the things that a typical female would not be doing, because that's what I genuinely love. And then that was in 2016. And then fast forward to 2017, you have Brunswick came calling to me for me to become their fitness ambassador. You get where I'm coming from? Them time them never even understand what exactly a fitness ambassador is about. You get where I'm coming from? I'm like, yo, I just have a company I pay for my runs them for for travel to run. You get where I'm coming from? And then the following year, you understand me? I formed my relationship with my first hydration company, along with Brunswick keep every year they keep renewing my partnership with them. You understand me? I also remember the water brand that I now represent, which is water. I think it was in 2018, I had the conversation with them in terms of, hey, how do I rep your brand? And, another thing I always tell people, old people have a saying that says, what is for you can never be unfair. I say, right. Because at the time, the timing just wasn't right. You get where I'm coming from? Yeah. But then fast forward to 2020, the timing is now right, where I'm now their female lifestyle wellness brand ambassador. You get where I'm coming from? So it has to do with putting in the work, and then the money will come. But if all you're thinking about is the money, you understand me? I'm going to be very honest with you. Yo, you have to work hard to get your money in that industry. You get where I come from? Yeah, man, you have to work hard.
Only for sweat, literally.
Only for sweat. So if you don't love what you're doing, and the money is not going to come, and the money is not coming, then 3 months you're moving on to the next quick hit. You get where I'm coming from? Definitely. So yeah.
So basically what you've said so far, for those of us who are just now joining the live, we are joined today by Ms. Patrice J. White. She is a lifestyle and fitness beast. She
and I'm a mommy, don't forget
I'm
a mommy.
I didn't know she was
I'm a mommy. Whenever from time to time I post a little snippet of my daughter, people are, what? You have a child big like that? I am a mommy. Yes, and I am. I'm a mom first.
She's a mom. And thus far, she's basically said patience, consistency, authenticity, truth, transparency. Those are some of the key principles to building yourself as a brand. I know we have a lot of student entrepreneurs, especially during these COVID times. A lot of us have launched out, have tried things on our own, and, we're just trying to make some money. But basically, you have to just apply those things, plug in those key things that she has discussed, and be patient. Be patient. Work very hard at what it is you want. Nothing comes overnight, you guys. So that's basically what she said thus far. And this can be applied not only to fitness, but just about every facet of
everything
life.
Everything in life.
I feel like. So these are major gems she's dropping. If you don't have a notebook near, if you don't have a phone near, I strongly advise you to write these things down. Sis is dropping major gems, a whole gold mine here at our fireside session. So another question I have for you is, I just mentioned like student entrepreneurs, there are students who would love to get into this industry. What would you say are some of the starting, some things you're gonna mention already, because you don't mention the,
All right. One of the main key starting points for anybody. And
how feasible is it for
and it doesn't matter what industry you're going to go in. You find yourself a mentor, and not just find yourself a mentor, find yourself the right mentor. You get where I'm coming from? Before coming into the fitness industry, I was on the opposite side of the industry. I was actually in the bar industry. So that's why a lot of people are shocked. They're like, oh, the hell do you can? Yeah, yeah. So I owned one of the biggest bar service back in the days, Bars to Go Party Services. Cool? Okay. So I was actually in the bar industry. And I became an entrepreneur when I was actually 24 years of age, 2 months after giving birth to my daughter. Okay. And one of the first thing I did when I became an entrepreneur was to find myself a mentor. And I had several mentors right throughout my business life when I was on the Bars to Go. When I decided to come into the fitness lifestyle, you understand me? I knew nothing at all about the industry. Just, what it is that I do with myself, etc. So the first thing I did was I found myself the right mentor that would guide me, that would mold me, that would tell me the correct certifications that I needed to do, the stuff that I needed to do, etc., and all these things. You get where I'm coming from?
How do you pick the right mentor?
So, a lot of people that I'm realizing nowadays, especially college persons, young persons, you know who them pick for mentor? Anybody were popular. That not put that dash. Not because they're popular on social media means that they're the right person for you. You need to make
it one more time.
not because they're popular on social media means that they're the right person for you. You get where I'm coming from? If all you're interested in is to build up followers, you get where I'm coming from, and to become popular with no substance behind your name, then fine. But if you're interested in, you know, getting that right business foundation, especially as a young person, remember, you know, when you're going into a business or you're building yourself as a brand, building yourself as a brand is one side of the equation. Right. You now have to understand the business side of the equation. You get where I'm coming from? Right. To ensure that you're not underselling your brand. You understand what I'm saying? You're not, you know, when you go into bed with corporate companies, relationship with corporate companies, you have to act a particular way, you have to walk a particular way, you have to talk a particular way. So you have to make sure that you're still acting, walking, and talking how it is that they want you to do, but you're not losing yourself in terms of
true to your
authentically is. You get where I'm coming from? So you want to make sure that you have the right mentor that is guiding you in terms of the correct things that you're supposed to do, especially when you're young. Because when you're young, you know, you're going to make enough mistake, you know. You get where I'm coming from? Yeah, man, you're going to make no mistake. Like, I am the person on social media that nobody can ever call out. You get where I'm coming from? If you comment on a post, that whether it's a post that goes viral of me or actually come on my page. So if you go on a post and comment something negative that went viral on me, it's either here or there. I don't pay it any mind. If you come on my page and you comment on a post negatively on a post on my page, I will just delete and move on. So I'll slide that delete button, you know, based on what you send me, probably I'll block you. You get where I'm coming from? Yeah. Sometimes I just leave it there because it's either here or there. And this is why I said that you have to have the right mentor. So people know me as that. I don't make things faze me. And I remember last year, I did a post, as I said, you know, me a little nyamo, yeah, so I said. And I did a post because, you know, when you go on my page, you're going to see fitness stuff and you're going to see the realness of who Patrice is. And I did a post where I spoke about, you know, I went by Aunt May's, by Elsha, and, you know, just at 24 festival, and, yeah, man, yeah.
You won.
Festival thing will get me in trouble. You get where I'm coming from? And so I did a post the day after to say, based on how I ate the day before at Aunt May's, I could not do anything less than 15 miles when I went for my run that morning. Because, you know, me have to burn out everything that was, you know. And somebody actually DM'd me. You understand me? And it was the first time in my life I make, you know, the social media, fast fingers people get to me. But that person pulled the right cord. You understand? You know, you push the right cord. And the person said to me that, basically went on into a rant, you know, what kind of fitness person I am. And you know, I'm basically practicing, what is it, you know, when people eat and then them go in the bathroom and them throw up, what's the correct name, the word? Anorexic.
Anorexic.
Yes.
Bulimia, anorexia, one of those eating disorders.
Sorry, bulimia. Sorry, bulimia call was coming in. You know, and, you know, basically went on into a rant. You get where I'm coming from? No. My brand is never associated with anything like that. You get where I'm coming from? And if you really followed me on my page, you get where I'm coming from? You would realize that that's not something that I've ever practiced. That's not something that I've ever said to my clients to do. You get where I'm coming from? But you're also saying to me that I should not be my authentic self. So I literally responded back to the person. So I sent the person a DM privately, but then I also shared what it is that I said. You get where I'm coming from, where I went and I shared. If you're new to clearly you're new to my page, because you'd realize that you cannot outwork me in terms of putting in the work. You get where I'm coming from? You know, I went off and, you know, I posted it, etc. And I remember one of my mentors, them, you understand me, them drip me up about that, you know, them drip me up big time about that, you know. You get where I'm coming from? You know, Pat, whilst I understand what the person did was wrong, you get where I'm coming from? Never make them unravel you. You get where I'm coming from? You have to always remember that at the end of the day, yes, we know you're human, but you're also a brand.
Cannot stoop.
You get where I'm coming from? So you can't.
Cannot stoop.
Exactly. Now, can you imagine me have a mentor where hype me up? You know, a hype man or a hype woman mentor say, yeah, man, I want to them. You get where I'm coming from?
More.
Exactly. So you have to make sure that whoever it is that you're getting as a mentor, it is somebody that you yourself also have respect for and will listen to also. Because you know, so if you're hyping and you have an ego, you know, when your mentor talks to you and tell you right from wrong, you're not going to listen to your mentor. So, you know, I believe you're going into business, you're going into entrepreneurship, find yourself that right person. And so that person also.
Sorry, the mentor shouldn't reflect you know, it should reflect who you're trying to get to. Exactly, who you're trying to get to. Because remember, you know, you're here. You're not going to get a mentor who's on the same level as you. Right. You're going to get a mentor that has years of experience. You get where I'm coming from? You have to purpose of. Exactly. That's the whole purpose of mentorship. Your mentor is going to teach you a lot of things that you know, when it comes to business, like example, money management, you know, the things that you need to do with your brand in terms of positioning your brand, investing in your brand, building your brand, growing your brand, stuff like that, etc. So your mentor, my first mentor in the fitness industry was not a fitness person. My mentor in the fitness industry was a brand builder person who sat me down to teach me how it is that I can build my brand in the fitness industry and to make my brand different from the other fitness person in the fitness industry. You get where I'm coming from? Because you know, a lot of times we're in business, what we do is we find a mentor that's actually in the same business and think, no, you don't need to. You get where I'm coming from? What you need to do is find out where your weakness is. I knew where my weaknesses is or was. You get where I'm coming from? So I need that guidance in terms of how to strengthen that weakness and turn that weakness into success. Awesome. Good stuff. Once more on the same note, so to speak, of students, how feasible of a business is this as a student or as a young person just now leaving university? We're living turmoil and chaos, no job, no day. I want to start fitness. How feasible?
I'm gonna be very honest with you. It is feasible. It's a feasible industry. You get where I'm coming from? The fitness industry is a very big industry. So when you're going into the industry, you're not just going to be thinking about just Jamaica. You have to think, you know, I personally don't think about Jamaica only. I think about globally. I want to be the Oprah Winfrey of my industry. You understand me? Say, if I want to be the Oprah Winfrey of my industry, I'm not just thinking Jamaica, I'm thinking world domination. You get where I'm coming from? The reality of it is you're also coming into an industry that is very competitive.
Right.
You get where I'm coming from? You have fitness trainers popping up here, left, right, and center every day. Gyms opening left, right, and center every day. You get where I'm coming from? So what you need to do is to find what your niche is and find that niche market segment of the industry. And then just concentrate on building that area, that niche area, and set your name where that area is. Again, I'll use back the T persons. The T persons are in this industry and they have found what their niche area is. You get where I'm coming from? And they're capitalizing on that niche area. The reality of it, everybody want to lose weight. Everybody want to be healthy. You get where I'm coming from? So you have persons who want to lose weight. You have persons who want to be healthy. So they are not necessarily the weight losers. They just want to be healthy and live a healthy lifestyle because they want to be around for the next 100 years. You get where I'm coming from? And then you have persons who they want to be able to put on body mass. You get where I'm coming from? So the industry is big all over. It's a huge industry. So you just have to be willing to put in the work, willing to outwork your competitor. So when your competitor is sleeping in the night, you should still be working. You understand me? So, you know, what I say to them is again, I use myself as an example. Me's a Vibes Cartel fan, so me I say, me so, in time. So gone were the days when I just started in the industry. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. When I just started in the industry, when I run, I used to listen to music. You get where I'm coming from? So, I've been running for like probably an hour, 2 hours, and I'm just listening to the same cartel songs over and over and over and over again. At some point, you're gonna look at yourself and you're gonna say to yourself, "Oh, yeah, grow from this." You get where I'm coming from? Or you fueling your mind from this. And then, so I remember that was 2016, 2017. And then 2017 to 2019, I was running, not listening to music.
Okay.
I wasn't listening to anything. So people say to me, "Oh, do you run 4 hours and not listening to anything?" I said I did it because I wanted to become self-disciplined. You get where I'm coming from? And then 2019 now, I started running and I started listening to stuff. You know what I've been listening to? Since then to now, I've been listening to podcasts. You understand me? And I tell you the beauty of listening to podcasts now, guys. No pick up some business ideas, some principles, some gems, some things that you would not necessarily be picking up if you're just reading a book or stuff like that, or even listening music. You get where I'm coming from? So my time, I tell people, is when I'm out there in the early morning before the whole world is wide awake running, and it's just me and my headset in my ears listening to my podcast, because that's how it is that I fuel myself. I was never, exactly, I was never a Kobe Bryant fan because I'm not a Lakers girl, you understand me? I'm not a Lakers girl. But when Kobe died, I watched a documentary thing that was on YouTube on Kobe. So what I did was I went into my podcast listing and I searched for every interview that Kobe had ever done. You get where I'm coming from? Now, this is a man that is successful. And again, guys, you want to become successful in any industry, you have to learn from the ones who are successful in theirs.
Yes.
This is a man right up to before he died, weeks before he died. He's successful. We all know he was a successful basketball player. You get where I'm coming from? And he transitioned into a successful businessman. And this man still gets up early in the morning and still put in the work that needs to be done. You get where I'm coming from?
Yes.
Or you can learn that, by keeping the wrong company. Or you're gonna learn those traits and those gems and get those gems by listening to music. You have to feed your mind. Or you can learn that gem. Or you can learn that gem by being on social media all day. That's all people do, Live on Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? You don't need to. If you use social media for business, then download a scheduling app. You get where I'm coming from, and schedule your post. That's what I do. I download my scheduling app and I don't download my posts. And it almost got me into trouble the other day when you had the Tuesday thing where for Black Lives, the Blackout Tuesday. Yeah. Because I use a scheduling app and I've been having a crazy busy week. I was not on social media. So the day when social media was supposed to be quiet, that have a post that go out. You get where I'm coming from? It's several persons that called me right after when they saw it and said, "Pat, and I'm like, I didn't know." You get where I'm coming from? Because I'm so busy trying to pivot around the whole situation of what COVID is. You understand what I'm saying? I am not on social media like that. I went and I fixed it and stuff like that. But as young persons, we have to make sure that we're willing to put in the work to get our business off the ground, especially for this industry. This industry is one of the industry that we have gone virtual. You get where I'm coming from?
Yes, definitely.
So, because we have gone virtual, you're able to earn income from this industry without even having a heavy overhead. For a startup, if you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
You understand me? So, that's my 2 bits. Other persons might say different, but I can only speak from my experience.
Definitely. Keeping that authenticity. I love it. I love it. Running down now, but what are some of the mantras? What would your clients be able to say about you as a trainer? Because I've heard, because I work for one of your clients, I do, and she's awesome, by the way. She knows herself. Big up you. And I read one of her posts, and she said, "You treat your clients like you're the one paying them."
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, what are some of the things that your clients would be able to say? Pat does this, or Patrice. I don't know if they call you Pat or Patrice, but Patrice does.
Oh, they call me Pat. They call me Patrice. All right. Them call me wicked. You get where I'm coming from? Yeah, them call me wicked. They call me the burpee queen. But one thing that they will always say to you, all my clients, it doesn't matter who they are, they will say to you that I'm authentic to what my brand is. You get where I'm coming from? Mm-hmm. Another thing that they will say is that they will say to you that I'm not afraid of putting in the work. You get where I'm coming from, which ties back into what my brand is. If I say to them that they need to do 100 burpees, I myself can do the 100 burpees.
One time? One time?
Yeah, my good girl. Yes, good girl. Yes, I'm going to look out 410 burpees. Rough, you see? Yeah, I'm sore till I can't sore no more. I'm going to run tonight. I'm not even know if I can run the way I'm sore. But then, I have a running challenge. You get where I'm coming from? Yeah. So the thing about it, is the reason why I can relate with a lot of my clients, especially the clients who are on their weight loss journey, the clients who they lack motivation, the clients who lack discipline, the clients who love tell themselves them lazy. You notice me use that because lazier than me, you could never find. I used to have friends who come my house for us to go and work out, and me go hide underneath the bed and act like me not the home. Yeah, man, with the lazy bed. You get where I'm coming from? One of the reasons why I can relate with my clients is because I've been there.
You've been there.
You get where I'm coming from? So when them come to me with whatever excuse and whatever story,
exactly what's going
I
on.
can relate. But yo, good girl, did that there. You get where I'm coming from? So I might come off with, to them as strict. You get where I'm coming from, but I know the work that needs to put in there.
How do you get them to work past the roughness? Because that's one of the things. Even when I was on the phone with you, if I wasn't raised by like a rough parent, I would.
Yeah, man, no, I keep it real. Yeah, but I keep it real. So yeah, man, I keep it real. If persons call me, so anybody that calls me in terms of wanting to train at the studio, with me, whether it's at the studio or online, etc. Or even if you fill out one of my questionnaire, it will be there. Like if you go to my Linktree thing, it's there. How did you hear about me? You get where I'm coming from? Mm-hmm. So we'll have the conversation. So if you say to me that, Joe Grind recommended me, and Joe Grind trained with me, the first thing I'm going to say to you, Joe Grind, tell us I'm rough, don't it? Mm. You get where I'm coming from? Mm-hmm. If you say to me that, you came across my page on Instagram, and I'll say to you again, you see, what you see on my page is what you see is what you're getting. Mm-hmm. You get where I'm coming from? I'm not the housewife gym. And when I say housewife gym, I'm not disrespecting the housewives, because I believe some of these housewives have the hardest job on God's earth. You get where I'm coming from? Taking care of the family and growing the kids, etc. What I'm talking about is the ones that go to the gym just to show the latest gym wear that them have, and the latest shoes and the this and the that. But them not really go gym for workout. Them go gym. Yeah, man. Them go gym. Them go gym for because they want to tell people them go gym. If you're that person, my studio is not the place for you. Mm-hmm. You get where I'm coming from? My program, I am not the trainer that's in this industry to collect money from you for 10 years and you still being at point A you were at when you just started coming to train with me. Mm-hmm. My program is a result-driven program. That's how people buy my brand. It's about results. You get where I'm coming from? Because the more results I get from you, it's the more customers I get from you. If you get where I'm coming from, that's where the business part of my program comes into play. You get where I'm coming from? Now, when you have them stubborn fat there, you can't play with it. You have a body top. You get where I'm coming from? No, we keep it real. You have a body top. And you have those persons who, them come gym and them think that they need to be at the gym for 10, 12 hours. No. You can be at the gym for 45 minutes to an hour and still put in the work that needs to kill fat and get the results that you need to get. So if me being rough for you or me being too aggressive for you, you get where I'm coming from?
Yes.
Not what you're looking for, then even though I want the money, I understand. And then you are every trainer gonna mesh, if you get where I'm coming from.
Definitely. We have a question from a viewer. That's, I'm not sure. I guess the name is Steph. Are there any plans to open a physical location in Montego Bay?
Boy, I hear that every day.
Moby, I want the love too.
I look here, I hear
Moby.
I hear Moby, I hear Ochi, guys. So originally,
that's a question I had. Do you plan to move around? That's a question I had too.
So when I just started the dynamic lifestyle, the plan was to have a location in Moby, a location in Ochi, and probably a location in Mandeville. You get where I'm coming from? And then as the brand started evolving, I realized that I don't necessarily need to have a physical location in those areas. And then as COVID hit, it cemented the point of what I'm going to say. You get where I'm coming from?
I'm listening.
One of the easiest way to build your brand and to become successful in anything it is that you do is collaboration. We don't want to collaborate. We don't want to collaborate because we don't want the next man to make the same money where we are make. You get where I come from?
Right.
Or we don't want to collaborate because we think that we're going to bring more value to our next man brand than what our next man will bring to our brand.
Or the other brand don't value me enough.
Exactly. But you know that COVID now changed all of that. Because in order for everybody to get out of COVID, collaboration is going to be the biggest thing that you have to do.
Yeah.
You get where I'm coming from?
Right.
Now, before COVID took place, what I started doing was, when I look into Montego Bay, there is a training facility in Montego Bay that's owned by a trainer down there that's called Kurt Coy. You get where I'm coming from? Kurt started out just like me. I remember when he's a trainer that has years of experience. So him a train long before me. You get where I'm coming from? Okay. And what I respected so much about him is that when he started training at a facility in Montego Bay, his style was similar to my style. So we had the same training techniques. And when he wanted to go on his own, this is somebody that I didn't know. And he reached out to me via Instagram to get a contact number for me, to bounce the idea from me. Hey, Pat, I want to go out on my own. I want some advice. You get where I'm coming from? And I told him exactly how it is that I did it. You get where I'm coming from? And the other thing I said to him is make sure that you remain authentic. Once you remain authentic, the money will come.
Yeah.
The money will come. So me tell you. You get where I'm coming from? So when people keep coming to me in terms of, hey, when you come into Montego Bay, he was the first person I reached out to. Yo, dude, I could just drop a boot camp on my bay. I could bring our brands together, align our brands together, and drop a boot camp on my bay. You get where I'm coming from?
Right.
I have clients who literally relocate from Kingston to Montego Bay. And that was even before Kurt and I started collaborating. And, they'll say to me, I used to train them virtually from here in Montego, in Montego Bay. Right. Because, they were trying gyms and it wasn't working out and thing. And I said to them, I say, yo, go to him. He does the same exact program that I do. And he will invest in you just as though I invest in my clients. You get where I'm coming from? So to answer the question is, I'm not too much interested in going into Montego Bay or going into Ochi or going into Mandeville because of two things. I can collaborate with a facility down there that has the same training techniques and authenticity as I have. You understand me? And we'll make a bigger reach. You get where I'm coming from? And two, with now COVID, what COVID has done is COVID has put has pivoted my brand digitally. Okay. You get where I'm coming from? So because my brand is now digitally online, I do Zoom programs all over. I have clients that I train that lives as far as Japan. You get where I'm coming from? I have clients in China, I have clients in the UK, I have clients all over Europe. You get where I'm coming from? And then I have clients in the Caribbean and, the US and Canada, as usual. As we Jamaicans, we have persons there. So because because of the digital platform and space now, I don't necessarily need to have a physical location. You get where I'm coming from? In example, Mobi, in example, Ochi, in example, Mandeville. What my team and I are now working on, I'm now managed by New Wave Media, Crystal Tomlinson and Danisha. You get where I'm coming from? So what my, yeah, you see, you learn things with COVID now, you know. When COVID just came to Jamaica, I'm going to share a post on my page. The person did the post. She did the post in April. It's one of the biggest motivational speakers that persons follow. And the post was really about me. I was the one who called her and literally broke down because I didn't know how to transition who I am on the digital platform. Because remember, my training is a hands-on training. You get where I'm coming from?
Better than that, Ellie, better than that.
Huh?
Better than that, Ellie, better than that.
Yeah. So I had a hard time. In March, I went through the period of what the frick is happening. Cause you know nobody now go gym, so you know everything locked down. And I went through that depression period, and I'm like, shit. We're talking about, yeah, man, I keep it real. We're talking about 2020 is supposed to be the year where, you know, me I look a piece of land for buy, so I can build my facility. Oh, the friggin' March now, we not earn an income. You get where I'm coming from?
I think they shut up.
And then April 1st, I wake up now. Because you know, you have to wake up. You can't feel sorry for yourself forever, you know. And April 1st, I wake up and I'm like, yo, Pat, you've been here before. You get where I'm coming from. This is not the first business. You know, you're not weak. You get where I'm coming from. You know, you're strong. And I remember calling her and having a conversation with her, and she was absolutely surprised because I literally broke down and started crying. And this is not somebody where when I share the post, guys, you will understand. She's not somebody that we have a friendship. It's somebody that you'll see, you hail each other and etc. You get where I'm coming from? But from time to time, if I need advice, I will call her and she will give me advice because she spits out some good gems on her pages. You get where I'm coming from?
Love it.
And
Love it.
she reasoned with me also. She's like, Pat, it's not you alone. Like the last income I got was in February. You get where I'm coming from? And she reminded me that the difference between you and a lot of other persons who are in the fitness industry is you have a strong digital brand.
You do.
Everybody knows about you.
A presence.
You get where I'm coming from. Your presence is there. The ones who I feel sorry for, the ones who never had that presence. That's what she said to me. And I went on, but I'm a hands-on trainer. How the hell am I transition that? You know?
Okay.
And it took me the entire month of April to figure out how to move my persona. You get where I'm coming from digitally without me thinking that I'm fake. You get where I'm coming from? So because I've now
preserve and transition your authenticity.
Exactly. So now because I'm now able to do that, you get where I'm coming from? My next now conversation was, all right, we need to find a management team to deal with that element from it. Because now I have big plans now. You get me? I come from coming out, make COVID beat me.
Yeah.
So my big plans was, I'm very, very big on Instagram. You get where I'm coming from? I'm not big on Twitter. We just start tweet because me and JPS can them like a thing they more know what going with COVID. You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
I don't have an active website. I don't have a mobile app. You get where I'm coming from? And if I want to become the
platform.
Yeah, if I want to become the Oprah Winfrey of my industry, I know. Sorry, guys, the call keep coming. I now need to be able to start pivoting digitally with my brand.
Definitely.
You get where I'm coming from? So one day I was at the gym and I was having a conversation with Crystal. Hey, I need to find a management team to manage me. Not realizing that she also does that. You get where I'm coming from? And that started the conversation, meetings and stuff, and all together as a team. And the bottom line is, guys, doesn't matter wherever you are, you get where I'm coming from, you will be able to experience the dynamic lifestyle treatment, the dynamic lifestyle training, the dynamic lifestyle drop down and give me 10 burpees, man. The person is persistent. The dynamic lifestyle kill fat personality anywhere you are in the world. You get where I'm coming from? Because the team is working on that. The team is working on that. We're even also working on our ebook. You understand me? So you see, we're making use of the whole COVID thing in terms of bringing the brand now digitally, because that's where it is. If you look, a lot of businesses have closed down because it's going to take a while for us to get back where we were before COVID. And the reality of it is, this is now going to become our new norm. We're never going back to where we were the day before, quote unquote, COVID came to Jamaica or COVID entered the world. You get where I'm coming from? We just now have to know and to understand and to learn how to pivot going forward in terms of where you're going to bring your brand and how your brand is going to survive. You get where I'm coming from? So one of my other mentors, she's one of my biggest fitness mentor, and she's one of the biggest fitness athletes in the world. You get where I'm coming from? She's a Reebok sponsored athlete. She has one of the most successful studio in Fort Lauderdale. And she herself, I was so shocked when I got that email that she was closing her training facility because of the impact of COVID. But then she has gone digital.
Okay.
You get where I'm coming from? So I'm gonna need to go Mobe, guys, who experience me and Mobe. You get where I'm coming from? Just stay tuned. Just stay tuned to Patrice J. White page. And everything that we're now working in the pipeline will be out, and you guys will know how to access the same Kill Fat program, the same Build Your Booty program, the same Put Our Muscle Mass program. You get where I'm coming from? You'll be able to access it anywhere you are worldwide. Right.
Thank you so very much, Patrice, for joining me today. This has been a dream come true. Had this been like a physical fireside, could hold me truly. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you for
and thank you for fighting through that persistent the day when you called me and rough you. Yeah? What is that? Live? Thank you for understanding. Thank you for understanding the personality. You get where I'm coming from? Because I know it kind of harsh and brush and thing, but thank you for understanding the personality.
It's you. Otherwise, it wouldn't be Patrice.
True.
Right. So thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure. I hope to meet you in person one day. I don't live in my base, so I can make it. Hope to meet you in person one day, and thank you so much on behalf of UCA and myself.
Thanks for having me, guys. I hope I'm able to save this live. I hope I've not done a live on Dynamic. So let me just hope that, I'm able to save it. If not, make a beg it or send it over. Come give me. You understand me?
Of course.
All right, guys. Thank you
so much. Have a good one.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Stay awesome. Peace.
Thanks, Mama. All right.